Hey guys, this is Mrs. Vaughn. We're going to go over just one more time using algebra and this flow chart to help us convert between grams, moles, and particles. So on this flow chart, we see these three different terms that we can use to describe a quantity of matter. So what we're going to do to use this one is we're going to start wherever our problem starts, follow the arrow to where we want to end, and then just do whatever the arrow tells us that we have to do. So let's look at an example and do this together. If we look at A, it asks us to convert 3.50 grams to moles, and it tells us our molar mass is 32.0 grams per moles. So to start our problem, we have grams. So I'm going to start here. I want to get to moles. So I'm going to trace over till I end up on moles. I only have to go one spot, so I look at what the arrow tells me to do. It says to divide by molar mass. So I take that number for my grams, which is 3.50. Now I'm going to divide by my molar mass. My molar mass, according to this problem, is 32.0 grams per mole. And that gets us to the last step that we want. So I'll take my scientific calculator, type in 3.5 divided by 32.0, and my calculator spits out this really long number. But if we look back at our directions, it tells us that we need to be sure to answer with the appropriate number of sig figs. Sig figs will only come from the original problem itself. We will ignore the molar mass for our sig figs. So we have 3 sig figs. That final 0 is significant. So we have 1, 2, 3 sig figs. That means I can have 1, 2, 3 sig figs in the final answer. I'm going to round that 9. I look to the number next to it. Since it's less than 5, I will leave this number alone. So my answer is 0.109 moles. That's how we would do A. Let's do another example together. So if we look at B, we're going to start with atoms this time. So atoms or molecules or formula units are just other words for particles. Remember, the particles are the generic term. So I start with particles and I want to go to moles. I can't go this direction because my arrowhead's pointing the wrong way. I have to follow the arrow and its path. So that means I'm going to be using this bottom arrow, which tells me I have to divide by Avogadro's number. Remember, Avogadro's number is equal to 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd particles. And that's for 1 mole of any substance. So we're going to do the same thing. We start with particles. So we take our 3.67 times 10 to the 25 atoms. And we will divide by Avogadro's number. So that leaves us with our answer. Let's punch it in our calculators together. So we take 3.67. Remember, this E function, the capital E function, takes the place of the times 10, your base power of 10. So we're just going to type in our exponent, which was 25. Now we can just hit the divide symbol, put in Avogadro's number the same way, and that tells us that we have 60.96 moles. Our initial problem, we have 3 sig figs, so our final answer has to have 3 sig figs. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3. The 9 is my last significant space. I look to the number to the right, it's 6, which is greater than 5, so I need to round this number up When I round 9 up, I have to round the next digit up also before that, because 9 would round to 10, which would make this answer with the correct number of sig figs 61.0 moles. That's it for the one-step equations, grams to moles and particles to moles. You would just go the opposite direction. If you need help going 2 steps, check out the next video.